Hello, everybody. We were supposed to start until 3:15, but this dumbass here hit the wrong button, so here we are. But maybe it's a good thing because I just noticed that there has been a new filing. Yesterday, we went over all the documents that the defense had filed. There's going to be a bunch of stuff discussed today. It starts at 3:30. Barry wants to be able to wear street clothes. The judge granted that. He doesn't want to be shackled and everything. The judge made kind of an order on that, but we'll probably hear more about both of those things today. They also applied for or put in a motion for a reduction in bail, and the people have now responded. So we're going to go over that quick before the hearing starts. I've got everything up and waiting. So as soon as the hearing starts, we will go over it. So let me bring this up for you. Okay, so here it is. So let's go over this quickly. Hello, everybody coming in. I'll give out some shout outs real quick here. Summer Dawn, Kate Bell, Patty Ward, Butterfly Dana, The Real Angel Girl, Dawn, Lori Forbes, Git, hello, TK Sass, Nana, hello, Sonia, hello. So welcome everybody. Please smash that like button on your way in. So we got a few minutes. This is 3 pages long, so I want to make sure we are all set to go for when this hearing starts, and it starts at 3:30, but sometimes they've been known to start a few minutes early. So let's get through this. So the prosecution has responded to the defense wanting to have his bail lowered. So Ann Kelly, District Attorney in for the 12th Judicial District, State of Colorado, respectfully responds to the defendant's motion and states as follows. Relevant facts. The 12th Judicial District Grand Jury returned an indictment charging the defendant with murder in the first degree on June 18, 2025 for killing his wife, Suzanne Morphew. The defendant was charged with the same crime in 2021 prior to the discovery of Ms. Morphew's remains in 2023. That case was dismissed without prejudice in a different judicial district. So let's see if they brought up some of the things that I had brought up yesterday when we went through these. As the indictment makes clear, the evidence against the defendant is more robust than the evidence presented in the 2021 case. Significantly, Miss Morphew's remains were found after the 2021 case was dismissed.
The people will present evidence that the remains of Miss Morphew contained a chemical compound that the defendant had practically exclusive access to at the time of Mrs. Morphew's disappearance. Okay, during the course of their investigation, police acquired information about the travel patterns and financial patterns that raised concerns about the defendant's ability to absent himself from the jurisdiction to avoid prosecution. Remember, he sold all the properties in Indiana, at Puma Path, in Longhorn Ranch, all that stuff, businesses fraudulently that he sold. For example, through the use of license plate reader technology, law enforcement learned that the defendant has traveled in 2 different vehicles with the same license plate. Illegal, totally illegal, totally illegal. Indiana F3R 7FR through several states from 2023 to 2025. He traveled to Indiana, Missouri, New Mexico, Arizona, Utah, Florida, and Wyoming. The defendant has the means to travel internationally. Law enforcement learned that the defendant traveled to Mexico after the 2021 case was dismissed. Law enforcement further learned that the defendant has significant means to finance an absconding plan. He purchased a condo out of state for his daughter and transferred the deed to his daughter's name. While jailed, he has communicated about the value of stock he sold and the substantial rental income he is collecting on properties in Arizona. Law enforcement has obtained communications about the defendant transferring money between accounts with his daughter and providing for his daughter's living expenses. See, like I said, you guys, I swear to God, Mallory at least knows what the hell is going on. The defendant is used and continues to use an alias. He refers to himself as Lee while he has been in custody and appears to continue to conduct business in Arizona using that alias. Legal argument. Okay, so I'm not going to get into all these, you guys, because we got 3 pages to get through. Identifies relevant factors the court may consider in determining the method and conditions of a defendant's release on bond. After consideration of all the statutory factors, a trial court's determination of bond is reviewed only for abuse of discretion. People v. Hoover, the defendant correctly listed the statutory factors in the motion. The defendant argues that the $500,000 bond he posted in the 2021 case was sufficient to ensure his court appearance. This case, however, is a very different case. If convicted at trial on arguably much stronger evidence, the charge against the defendant requires a mandatory life sentence. The defendant's circumstances are different than they were in 2021. People v. Blagg. Considering change of circumstances relates to statutory factors relevant in determination of bond amount and conditions. There is evidence that the defendant has substantial means increasing the defendant's flight risk. In People v. Fallis, considering flight risk as a factor in setting a bond amount and conditions. Moreover, the defendant has demonstrated a willingness to take actions that conceal his identity, like using an alias and interchanging vehicles with the same license plate, increasing the defendant's flight risk. The bond set by the court is not unreasonable in comparison with other murder cases in the 12th Judicial District. A defendant with significantly less ability to abscond, Harry Correll, was recently convicted of murder in the first degree, 2024. The case set Mr. Correll's pretrial bond at $5 million cash only. Similarly, Larry Chavez, a defendant accused of murder in the first degree, must post $5 million cash or surety to be released on bail. That's another 2024 case. These are both 2024 cases. Many of the facts the defendant relies upon in his motion have already been considered by the court in setting the original bond. In setting bond in this case, the court acknowledged the defendant's compliance with bond conditions in the 2021 case. The court also considered the defendant's limited criminal history. Finally, the court evaluated its bond decision in light of the amount and conditions of the defendant's previous bond in 2021, noting that the alleged facts of the present are distinct. Hang on a sec, you guys. Sorry about that, you guys. That was some of the crew that repaved our street last year. They came by again to say hi and asked me how I was doing and stuff. So that was really nice of them. I got really close to them. They were here for like 6 months. So anyway, finally, the court evaluated its bond decision in light of the amount and conditions of the defendant's previous bond in 2021, noting that the alleged facts of the present case are distinct. There are no new material facts raised in the defendant's motion that warrant a reduction in bond. Wherefore, based on the above, people respectfully request this honorable court deny the defendant's motion to reduce bond. Anne E. Kelly. So that is the new stuff. It is a female judge, you guys. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing this because, as you guys know, I cannot live stream the hearing. So what I do, like I did the last time, let me just, I'm waiting for the courtroom to come online, you guys. Courtroom C. It's not online yet. Courtroom D is. Live streams, almost ABC. C's not on yet. So yeah, so like I said in yesterday's live, there is so much more that they've got now, and they've made sure they have gone to the ends of the earth, right? To make sure they got everything in order this time. They're not going to make the same mistakes. So hello, everybody. So as soon as this does come online, you guys, I will be getting it up. Usually they'll come on. Okay. Alamosa. I'm going to have to do this like I did the last time, you guys. Even the news stations and everything, they're not allowed to bring any electronics into the courtroom. So this is the only way that we can do it is I watch it and I repeat to you what's going on. Which is mind-boggling because as I'm listening to it, I'm trying to tell you what was already said. I don't know how stenographers do it, but it's difficult. So bear with me. If you guys haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. For those of you who can afford it, we have memberships and also super chats and stuff like that are greatly appreciated. This is not easy to do. Like there are sometimes that some cases that we can't stream. They allow news reporters in there so I can see what they are putting out and just read that. But they're not even allowed in the courtroom with their laptops or anything, whether they are news or not. So no electronics in the courtroom. So this is the only way that we can do it. Okay, let me see some of the daughters better be careful. There's a charge of accessory after the fact. Yeah. Summer Dawn, I agree. Yes. Right now, the real Angel Girl, he has a $3 million cash only bond. Yeah, it's like trying to do this, you guys, it is hard, okay? Like I'm listening to everything that goes on and it's not good audio to begin with. So I'm listening to everything that's going on and I'm trying to repeat what was just said. But still listening with the other ear as to what's coming so I can constantly repeat what's being said. It's difficult. CJ, hello, CJ, says, hoping this judge isn't fooled by his attorneys. Yeah. We went over it yesterday and there was some stuff like they stuck their own foot in their mouth and whatnot. So if you haven't seen that, I will link it. It will be in one of the cards at the end. Let me just see the stream is offline. Please try refreshing to update stream status. Yeah, they're not on. Oh, they are on. Okay, hang on. Am I in the right courtroom? Yes, I'm in the right courtroom and they are in there. Let me get my headset on. Okay, let me just make sure, you guys, that I have sound coming through. Just give me a second here. Okay, so I have sound. Okay. So people are coming into the courtroom, you guys. I'm going to make it large here. I can quickly show you guys what the courtroom looks like. Just quickly, I'll show you what the courtroom looks like before anything starts. Quickly. It's going to be quickly, so make sure you're watching. I'm going to show it quickly. There you go. So there's the courtroom. Okay, so everybody is now coming into the courtroom. Barry's not in there yet. I don't see any of his, and Mallory or Macy, I don't see them in the courtroom yet. I do see, let me see, is that, no, that's not him. There are people in there. They haven't brought him in yet. Hello, 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 everybody. Thank you, the real angel girl. I don't know what will happen if he's found guilty of taking her life, because he got the power of attorney and everything, right? Yeah, we're going to see what kind of judge for sure is on this case. Summer Dawn says, accessory after the fact. Absolutely. So hello, everybody coming in. Cherish your sparkle. Hello. Sharon Parker. Hello. We're just waiting for it to start. Heart H's tones. Hello. Kim French. Hello. Summer Dawn. Hello. CJ. Hello. YouTuber is here. Hello. DK. Hello. Anne. Hello. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Now, hopefully, you guys, I know the news stations are going to fight hard to be able for us to live stream the trial. Like, I only think it's fair. You know what I mean? Like, the people should be able to. It's a very small courtroom, and there's a lot of love out there for Suzanne. That's for sure. So I had a rough time yesterday trying to get through that victim impact statement that her older brother David made. Suzanne's foundation apparently is still going on. It's her friends and that from Salida that had started that. I know this past Christmas they did light the tree for her again. They do a bunch of stuff for her, so I'm glad that they are keeping that alive. So Barry is not in the courtroom yet, you guys. Let me just go over here. I'm just sending a message to my brother because he just posted about it too. Hang on. I'm sending him a message. I'm going to send him a message to come and pop in and say hello to you guys. Send one to Martin too. Okay, I sent them each a message, and we'll see if they pop in and say hello. Hello, Missy. Mr. Gross says, "How's AK?" He's doing good. He's doing better. He went through it, you guys. Hello, Karen. And hopefully they pop in and say hello. I'm keeping an eye over here. But he has been posting over on X just within the last few minutes. He says the witnesses will now include people who have personally observed Barry drunk as F, working on his Bobcat on job sites. One specifically stated regular cocaine, alcohol, and steroid usage, and they experienced it firsthand. Such an ungodly, murdering husband. And he also, in his cryptic little way here, they are still filing into the courtroom. He puts the map of where Suzanne was found. He says, Mr. Barry Morphew bagged a bull elk in late in 2019. I heard of a few locations where he hunted that year. In checking my notes, Area 68 was included in the locations. I'm not that smart, but it sure is eerily close to something significant. So he's been putting it out there, you guys. Let's just see here. I can show you it as we're waiting. Hang on, let me share this with you. Okay, let me see. See, this is it here. Look at this. Who took the moonlight pizza photo to send to the girls? Right? Question everything, he says. These silly little facts hate a wife murdering pukes like Barry Morphew. So he has been posting in the last half hour, you guys. Hopefully he pops in and sees us. This is some of the stuff that him and Martin have been doing. Why did Barry Morphew, prior to his last call to Suzanne on May 10th, 2020, change her contact to reflect just Suzanne and not Suzanne Morphew like it had been for years? So there's lots of stuff here. Patty says, cleaned up the jungle and refreshed flowers. They put flowers for Suzanne. So he has been posting the last little while here, you guys. So hopefully he does pop in and see us. We'll see if they pop in to see us. Hopefully before this starts. The courtroom is filling up, you guys. The prosecution is in the courtroom. Barry Morphew and his lawyers are not. He sure does. Barry's attorneys, he's got one that he had for the last trial, and he's got a new one. Oh, I forget their names already. I guess I should go over there, get them, and write them down. Hang on. Melinda Mormon is in the courtroom. Well, she's in the Zoom. Okay, hang on a sec, you guys. Let me go and get the lawyers' names. Jane Fisher. Jane Fisher Brylson. And David Beller are his lawyers. AK is the man. He is. I did send him a message, you guys. So, Karen, I am doing well. I hope you guys are doing good. Hello, Christina. Hello, everybody coming in. Brittany, hello. Well, he did dress her up in clothes, in biking clothes, the blue biking clothes that she would have worn. Only somebody who personally knew her would know that those are the color of clothes. But the thing that he messed up was when he reclothed her, there was no decomp. There was no bodily fluids from decomposition on those biking clothes, and her feet are missing. She had no hair. He skinned her like an animal, you guys. Okay, Jane Fisher is in the courtroom. Both of his daughters are there. Mallory and Macy are both there. They just came in the courtroom, and Barry just came in wearing a black and white checkered flannel shirt, black jeans. Mallory and Macy are sitting right behind him. They also have a lawyer with them. So I'm going to give you guys a play-by-play, so I won't be able to see chat. So today there's a status conference, and they are going to try and get Barry's bond reduced. The court reporter is now in the courtroom. There's a bunch of people that are sitting behind Barry Morphew, and there's a lot of people sitting behind the prosecution. Barry looks horrible. I still don't have any sound yet, you guys. Hello, unspoken butterfly. Hello, my love. I just love her. Look at her picture, everybody. Look at that. I'll put it back up on screen. Model material right there. Amanda Hopkins is now in, right? She had no hair. There was there was maybe little pieces of skin left on her body, but there was no hair, no feet, no skin. And he just threw in with her some of her biking clothes. Okay, so the defense and prosecution are going up to the bench. Hello, Barbara Ann Kennedy. Andrew Mormon. Andy is in the Zoom. Andy Mormon is in the Zoom, you guys. Melinda Mormon is in the chat also, and she just had her camera on briefly, and then she turned it off. She does have her microphone on. She should turn that off. There's Martin. Hello, Martin. Good to see you. So while I am talking about this, Martin is in here, and he's going to be able. YouTube is here, right? Um, he'll probably be able to answer a lot of your questions if there's something being said, because he knows quite a bit more about this case than I do. Always good to see you, Martin. Like I said, I sent a message out to Martin and to my brother. Come on and see us. Everybody would love to see you. So guess what? Here they are. So thank you. Okay, so his lawyer is up speaking, but they do not have sound on. That is going to piss me off, you guys. Yes, everybody give a warm welcome. Amanda Hopkins. The court doesn't have the sound on, you guys. Amanda Hopkins is saying something. She's talking to Barry Morphew's lawyer. She's the court clerk. Yes, send some love out to Martin. So they haven't started, I guess, yet. The court clerk is just speaking to Barry Morphew's lawyer, David Beller. The prosecution just got up and said something too. They still do not have the sound on. This is pissing me off, you guys, because they don't have the sound on. Oh, that's the judge. Amanda Hopkins is the judge. So the defense is standing up talking about something, but the sound isn't on. Hang on a sec, you guys. Hang on a sec. The court doesn't have their sound on. Okay. So okay, so his lawyer right now is arguing about that he shouldn't have to prove presumption great, that he followed everything the last time. I've got sound now, you guys. There are people live streaming this. Okay, well, he's streaming it. Like, are we allowed to live stream this? It says we can't. He's just arguing that he. Okay, I'm going. He's saying that he's remained to have a close relationship with his daughters. Nothing has changed. He's followed all the rules. He's he continued to comply. He followed all the orders of the court. Says he's very, very close still to his mother and countless friends in the area. He says that he's saying Mr. Morphew's had counsel for 5 years since he's lost his wife. He's maintained that through this, he's maintained his innocence. He appeared for every court appearance. He followed every rule, which is a lie. Um, let's see what else that the bail set at 3 million is unreasonable. He says that his lawyers have stayed in contact with authorities even once this was all done the last time to let them know where he was and everything else. He says he had the legal right to leave the country if he wanted to. He had the legal right to maintain anonymity. And if he wanted to use a different name, he could. Says even though he had no obligation to do so his counsel still stayed in contact with the law enforcement. He says bond is supposed to be set to make sure that they come to court and is held accountable and gets due process. And the point that his bond is 3 million, Mr. Morphew cannot bond out. And that's an indication then that the bond is set too high. It's like, wait a minute. Like, just because your client doesn't have the money to bond out doesn't mean that the bond is set too high. But this is what he's complaining about. He says you guys set the bail so high that he can't post it. Well, you shouldn't have done what you did then. He says setting it now at 3 million is not appropriate. 500,000 is much more accessible to him, and he will be able to post that. He cannot post 3 million. He says he's in a much different in a much different financial situation than he was back then, and 500,000 is significant to him. Well, what did he do with all the millions? He says it's going to be difficult for him to come up with even the 500,000, and they want them to use just property. So please consider. So he's asking the judge, please consider putting it back down to 500,000 like was previous. He doesn't have the funds to post 3 million. That's why he's sitting in jail still, and that he followed all the rules before and he will do it again. No. He'll remain in Colorado in the jurisdiction if the court reduces his bond. Saguenay County should be the jurisdiction he has to live in. He has more connection to neighboring jurisdictions, not Sequashi. The judge just asked if he was employed by a company, but he said no, he's self employed. People in neighboring jurisdictions will employ him. And he's saying that he could possibly be employed somewhere else if him being self employed is not good. The judge is asking how long he stayed in Colorado following the dismissal. His lawyer says not long. He left pretty much right away. A very brief period. He relocated to Indiana, so he'd be close to his mother in Indiana, and then ultimately moved to Arizona with other family members, which is Macy and Mallory. The judge is asking, since that time, other than Indiana, Arizona, is there any other state that he's gone to or any other place? Only to relocate family members, short trips. He says, as far as he knows, he's remained in those 3 jurisdictions. Now the judge is asking about the aliases. Since his case was dismissed, has he been using aliases? He says his middle name is Lee. He has used Lee as his middle name for various reasons, but he also used Bruce, which this lawyer didn't just disclose. Like, he just lied. Prosecution is up arguing. Victim Rights Act. She's saying that his daughters have supported the motion to reduce bond. Well, as Melinda and Andrew are both on the Zoom, and they have put victim impact statements saying that they are highly opposed to his bond being reduced. They strongly object to any modifications of the bond. They're asking for a reduction of bond, she says, specifically for the reasons that the court had already considered in setting the bond the last time. The court had the indictment and reviewed it all and the information that was presented before bond was set. She also had in front of her when she set the bond at $3 million this time, that she had the conditions and everything, and the outcome of all that from the previous time he was released. All of those factors, they just asked for her to reconsider again. But the most important thing that the court considered is that the court had the actual indictment in front of them this time. And they're saying this is a very different case. The facts of this case will be litigated in trial. They're saying that the prosecution saying that the defense wants you to believe that the evidence at this time is just slightly different than the 2021 case. Nothing is further from the truth, she says. In this case, the remains of Suzanne have been found after an autopsy contained a chemical that Mr. Morphew had exclusive access to, tying him directly to the remains of his wife. The case in 2021 were arguably circumstantial with no body. This case is very different, she says. I'm hoping that the court has been able to at least review some of the transcripts of the case presentation in front of the grand jury. Obviously, the court has the indictment. The transcripts will also describe in more detail, in more depth, the weight of the evidence against Mr. Morphew as he sits here today. So I think I differ with the defense counsel and his assessment of the case. It's very different than from 2021. The court has also considered the behavior of Mr. Morphew. The court had asked the prosecution, was there any bond violations in 2021? What were the terms and the conditions of his bond in 2021? And the court had all that information in front of her when you determined that this is a totally different case and a higher bond should be set. I differ with the defense counsel in the argument where they submitted a bond is too high if somebody can't post it. Obviously, our jails are full of people that can't post bond and argue in a different direction than that. The reality is the bond that the court has set is consistent with other bonds that are set for similar against homicide defense. Against homicide people that are facing this is similarly the same charges as Mr. Morphew. Asking if he so the court outright, this is what the prosecution is saying. The defense, the judge outright asked the defense if Mr. Morphew had been using any other name. They'd stated that he was using Lee Morphew because that's his middle name, but she's going to say something else. Hang on. And for the reasons why, but it's not just his middle name. He's also using a last name that doesn't have any relationship or connection to him or his real name. He's using the name Lee Moore, which is not related to anything. He's using it to conduct business in Arizona because, as we know, you guys, in Arizona, he ripped off a bunch of people, right, with Barry Morphew. So now he's changing it to Lee Moore. And that's a concern for the prosecution, that he is trying to disguise who he actually is. The court also asked if he had been in another state for a substantial amount of time. She says, I don't have actual facts in front of me to dispute what the defense said regarding that, because they said he was just in Arizona and Indiana. She says that the defendant has been traveling frequently with two different vehicles and interchanging the same license plate, using the same license plate on two different vehicles. We also have information that has been communicated to us to suggest that the defendant has he actively has been moving around large amounts of money to different accounts. He has put properties and businesses in his daughter's name. Although he was entitled to travel around freely before his arrest, he has the means to travel outside of the country because he'd gone to Mexico, right? And it's those things that give us a lot of concern. She says that he is under a very different peril than he was the last time, and the moving around of the money and using fake license plates, like interchanging license plates, as using the same plate on two different vehicles, using an alias, using a name that does not belong to him. It's very much a concern to them. There's nothing that they presented that they have presented that would give them. Okay, the judge has a question for her, but she says that they've given nothing to give reason for modification of bail. The judge is about to ask her a question. It's about the license plate that she brought up was switched between vehicles. Was it registered to Mr. Morphew? It was. It was. It's an Indiana plate, and he's been living in India. It's his under his real name, but it's registered in Indiana, and he's been living in Arizona for a long time. He has not registered any vehicles in Arizona. He's using this Indiana plate. The defense is getting back up. He says, I want to be very careful in recognizing who our audience is. You just got caught lying to the court, buddy. You didn't tell the judge. She asked specifically what aliases he was using, and you lied to her. You left out that he was using Lee Moore or Bruce Moore to hide his identity. The transferring of large amounts of money, I believe, in reference to a trailer that Mr. Morphew is residing in Arizona, and a home that Mr. Morphew that Suzanne and him had purchased in Indiana for about $200,000 and transferred it to his mother. His mother resides in it. And he's saying that he doesn't have any money, and as the court knows, he was living in a trailer park. in Arizona. Why? Because a little trailer, if he decides to get up and flee, this is me commenting. If he gets up to flee, he's just leaving a little trailer behind. He's not leaving behind a $1.6 million house, right? So they're kind of sticking their foot in their mouth. The judge does not look impressed that he was just caught lying to her. Yeah, it's in Mallory's name. He says there's not a substantial amount of money. He's talking about the indictment. He, he says it's a cherry picked piece of narrative that's been created exclusively by the district attorney and agents of the district attorney. And going through the grand jury, there was no opportunity for the defense to publicly defend anything that's been said. It's mere allegations and arguably, laughably, oftentimes wrong and incorrect. He says the BAM that they specifically are talking about was prescribed to him in Indiana in 2018. He says he hasn't had. Wait a minute. He just said to the judge that Barry Morphew hasn't had access to the BAM since 2018. Lies, because they found it in his garage. And they found a cap in his in the dryer that must have been in his short pocket, because those are the clothes that he was wearing when Suzanne went missing, right? He hasn't had access or anything to it since 2018. That's a lie, because they found it in his garage. They said that law enforcement didn't find any BAM. Yes, they did. In Mr. Morphew's residence? Yes, they did. It was in the house at Puma Path in the garage. They showed the packages. They said they didn't find anything in his garage or gun safe. Said that he legally possessed that for a deer farm that he owned in Indiana. But he's saying that he doesn't have access to it, and he hasn't since 2018, and doesn't have any in his possession. Okay, the judge is saying the purchase of bail at the purpose of bail at this. Okay, hang on. Let me mute the stop this for a minute. She's saying the reason for bail right now is to make sure that he attends court and everything else. Pretrial considerations and reducing bond, whether Mr. Morphew will come to court as directed. So she's going over basically the list of things that bond is supposed to do. She's going over the factors that she's going to use in making her decision. She says these are the ones that weigh in his favor: the support of his family. He alleges several friends. However, he didn't identify anybody. even in the sealed version of his motion, and his family lives largely outside of this area. And another family member that he meant that lives between two states. She's bringing up the daughters. She says the two that are strongly supportive of him, and they want him to be released. She takes that very seriously. She says your opinion matters a great deal. She's talking directly to his daughters. He has no criminal history, except for one case that no longer exists. She can't consider a case that doesn't exist any longer. She doesn't have any evidence in front of her that he committed a new offense, nor does she have any evidence in front of her that he's likely to harass or intimidate witnesses. That being said, these are also several factors that are going to weigh against him in her decision. He has moved around a lot since 2022, which is indicative of mobility. Nothing in particular to keep him in a specific place. It's also indicative of it's also indicative of his ability to get up and pick up and go whenever he wants. He's been largely self-employed. So these are the things going against him, you guys. Largely self-employed. He's continued to conduct business from jail. She says jail does not seem to be an impediment to his ability to still earn a living. Not not necessarily it should be an impediment, but it's not for him because he's obviously doing business even from jail. But it's not going to contribute to him needing to get out so he can get back to work and run his business. Obviously, the nature of the charge alleged, the only sentence would be life in prison. Leans towards strongly not reducing his bail. She's also taking into consideration the fact with the discovery of Miss Morphew's remains and the evidence resulting from that discovery, that puts him in a very different posture compared to the last time than he was when his bail was set at $500,000. This is all stuff I brought up yesterday. The thing that weighs strongest against Mr. Morphew, he does not have a single tie to this community that she's aware of. His family does not live here. He does not have a single friend or business associate in this area at all, let alone anyone willing to assist him in this area. Furthermore, it's been argued that Mr. Morphew has the means and quite skilled at moving around and remaining under the radar. Although I have heard what the defense has said about Mr. Morphew staying in contact with law enforcement since his dismissal. But there's also evidence that he is using a different name. Even the media scrutiny around Mr. Morphew's cases, that's not wholly unreasonable, but it is a concern. It's a concern because he has the ability to switch up his names and identity and live by an assumed name. However, she's also going to recognize and consider that law enforcement located him relatively quickly after the indictment, and that Mr. Morphew did not deny that he was the one sought by police. Don't do it, Judge. Don't do it. Don't do it. She says that finally she is going to consider that Mr. Morphew has the means to move around and not be this, um, which wasn't available to him a few years ago. But nonetheless, the arguments that have been made make it clear that, unlike many people in this situation, he doesn't have to remain in one place at all. And it would be relatively easily for him to move around, notwithstanding his relationships with the children and other family members. And finally, Mr. Morphew does deserve to be treated similarly to those in similar situations to his. The prosecution's response to Mr. Morphew, um, as the paperwork that we had just gone through before court started, where they mentioned the two cases of two people that are similarly charged like he is with murders since 2024, one of whom has bail set at 5 million cash only, and the other had 10 million cash only. Cash or assure. The other one was 10 million cash or a surety. Apparently, they tried to abscond, which is very different than Mr. Morphew, but similarly different. They had serious criminal histories, and they had significant ties to the community. She also looked at a few other homicides that are pending in this district, not mentioned in the people's response. One has bail set at $75,000 cash or surety. Another had a $1 million call. This case is very similar. This is another case where it was set at 1 million bond, with a husband accused of killing his wife. Neither of those defendants had significant criminal histories, but they do have strong ties to the community, and they have raised good defenses to their charges. Therefore, in weighing each of the factors and assessing his situation, good. She declined to reduce. Hang on, let me hear that again. Hang on. She's not going to reduce his bail, but she's going to she's going to she's not going to reduce the 3 million, but she's going to change it a bit to cash surety or property. The reason she's going to set it like that, where he can bond out, it'd be $300,000 that a bondsman would have to put up, and he would not only lose that 300,000, then a bondsman would also be tracking him down. And if he posted cash only option, then he has to put 10% cash. That's 300,000 plus property and surety to make up for the rest of it to reach 3 million, because she's not lowering the bail. So he would lose out if he puts a 3 million cash bail. He's going to lose the 3 million if he takes off. If not, if he gets a bail bondsman, then they want 300,000 cash. He would lose that, and they would track him down. So a condition: he can't leave the state of Colorado for any reason. A GPS monitor placed on him before he could be released. He can't leave his home for anything but medical emergencies, to meet with his attorneys or attend court. And the GPS company has to submit a report. We know that didn't work the last time, you guys. They couldn't get any connection to it. And they've got to send her a report monthly. He has to surrender his passport. He has to only use the name Barry Morphew. He has to use that for business and anything. Anything he does, he has to use his real name. He cannot use any aliases. And he can't change his name legally during this case. He can only drive vehicles that are properly registered with the correct plate on them. And she's going to put a protection order. Also, he has to comply with that. So, bond is not going to be reduced, you guys, but there's strict conditions. She's issuing a protection order against the kids. They will have to apply to the court. Witness and any witness. No talking to them about their testimony, no harassing. Not to contact any victims. Oh, she's not going to issue a no contact with the daughter. So she says, I know like the relationship you have with your daughter, so I am not going to issue a no contact order for your daughters, but for everybody else, like all Suzanne's family, any witnesses, stuff like that, she is. It's in your best interest not to contact any of her family. You cannot have any firearm, ammunition, or any dangerous weapon. Very large knives are a problem for you. You're not allowed to have them. You cannot consume alcohol or any controlled substances. The protection order is against any witnesses and family that does not want any contact with him, any of the victims. He can't contact them except for his daughter. So it went from 3 million cash to a property bond, but he has to come up with at least 10%, which is 300,000. Status of the case now. They're saying that they're still trying to get through all the discovery and to go through all this because he's in jail. They're moving at a much slower pace because he's in jail. Setting a date for arraignment is not something that they're prepared to do right now. So he hasn't even been arraigned and he wants bail. 60 days they're asking for. See, the thing is, you guys, I think why they're doing this is because once he is arraigned, the clock starts ticking for speedy trial. He wants 60 days. The prosecution's ready to set a trial date. Prosecution is saying that they are expecting to go to trial next summer. And the defense is saying that could be reasonable. June, July, August next year. So the defense just got back up and he says, this David Beller, which is one of Barry's attorneys, just got up and said, Your Honor, this is the second time that the prosecution has said that they are ready to proceed to trial. I point out that we just received another 4 terabytes of discovery last week. But they had announced in July that they were ready to go to trial, but we just received 4 terabytes last week. He says this is not how cases work. If it was, we would have had all 8 terabytes back in July. He says, I'm hesitant to commit to a trial date with evidence still coming in or disclosure still coming in with that volume too. I don't want to be disingenuous. When I spoke to the people, I did represent that I thought that we were good for next summer. It's very early in the process. I can't commit to that. It's a realistic goal, but he can't commit to it. Once he has a better understanding of all the discovery, he'll be in a better position to nail it down, a trial length and trial date. The judge says, I wasn't setting a trial date today anyway, but she hears what everybody's saying. It seems reasonable to her, June, July, or August next year. And her, The prosecution's just up saying that, we'll keep in contact with the defense because see if any discovery, any scheduling in advance so they can get this rolling. He wants to work with them because he feels that the trial is going to be at least a month long. So she's going to schedule another status conference. So November 3rd at 1:30 Colorado time, which is 3:30 my time, November 3rd. Now, I don't know if all her previous orders remain in effect. So so the defense is saying, do you have the protection order ready now so I can have him sign it? So I don't know what's going to happen, you guys. He may get out again. He may get out because all he has to come up with is 300,000. So if they go to a bail bondsman and they come up with 300,000, he's out again. Like all that property and everything that Mallory has under her name, there's more than 300,000 there. Yep, I think he's going to. No, it's not good at all. So I believe that's it, you guys. Yeah, that's it. It's over. Um, yeah. So let me just get my headphones off here. So the judge reduced his bail. Well, I didn't reduce it, but she modified the bail conditions. So he has to put up the 10%. So he has to come up with 300,000. Well, he came up with 500,000 in 2022. So he's going to get out, you guys. He's going to get out. I don't know what they're going to do about him having to stay within the county because she said that he has to stay within the county, right? But the prosecution said, look at, he's got no family here. They made a slip up there. We now know that Macy and Mallory live in Arizona. His mom is still in Indiana. CJ, no. They can go to a bail bondsman, and the bail bondsman is going to want 10%, which is 300,000, and they will bond him out. Let me just fix my mic here, you guys. All they have to come up with is 300,000 because bail bondsmen they want 10%. So, but if the bail bondsmen's, like if they're short, say they put property and everything up, like his mom puts the house in Indiana up, the girls put up, and like the prosecution even said, like he's moved big sums of money. It's put it all under his daughter's name. He's using aliases. Well, he has to in Arizona. Why? In Indiana. Why? Because he ripped off so many people and sold businesses that were worthless. Him using fake names, like using the same license plate on two different vehicles. Like there was so much there why he should not have been released. And this judge, oh my God, she didn't lower the bail. So they have to come up with, if they go to a bail bondsman for the full 3 million, they're going to have to come up with 300,000. Otherwise, they have to put up value of property. So there would be a lien put on each of those properties, totaling 3 million, or the difference between how much cash they can come up with and the 3 millions. It has to total 3 million. I don't know if there's going to be a bondsman that wants to put up 3 million for Barry Morphew. I don't know. What do you guys think? The protection order is against all the witnesses and everything, you guys. She said that she is not going to put a protection order for the daughters because she realizes how close they are and how supportive they are of him, and they're supportive of him being released. So she's not going to put a no contact order on them as victims, but any other victim of this crime, there's a protection order, and on all the witnesses. So he can't call them, harass them, contact them. So that's what that is. Right, Summer? I have the same feeling. They can, it's up to the defendant how they want to post that bond. So they can put up like property, like say there's a house worth 100,000, there's another one worth 600,000. That's 700,000, right? So take 700,000 off the bail because they're going to post those houses as, and there'll be liens put on those houses for that amount. They can then go to a bail bondsman to get the balance, or they can go to the bail bondsman and get the full amount of 3 million posted. But they would have to pay the bail bondsman 10%, which is 300,000. And if he skips out, the bail bondsman is going to go after him because then they're on the hook to pay that 3 million. Yep, he's going to be out. He is a big flight risk this time. Thank you, Martin. Huge flight risk. Christine says he's going to Mexico. I don't know if Mexico has an extradition treaty, but it's to find him. She had said at one point, the judge said, well, they didn't have no problem finding him to arrest him. Like, I feel like there should have been more that was put in, like that the ankle monitor was not able to track him because of cell phone service, right? Yes, I'm so sorry, Suzanne. Buffering. Yep, exactly. So you guys thank the boys for being here. In my opinion, Bear Bear will be visiting Dante's Inferno, if you get my drift, huh? Possibility, right? Yeah, Butterfly Dina. I agree. Like, and they were in the Zoom. Like, she has been failed over and over and over again. And for them to say, for the defense, for David Beller, which is his attorney, to say that there was no BAM found, he hasn't had access or had it in his possession since 2018? Yes, he has. Is Martin, okay, brother's in here. Was Bam not found in the garage? Brother or Martin? AK will find him. Yes, he will. I do, bro. I do. I trust it. So I'm going to get Kurt or Martin to answer that because I do believe that it was found in his garage. Okay, so I'm going to put, hang on. Okay, so nobody else click on this, please. This is just for my brother or Martin. If you guys want to come up, just click on the link. So, no Bam found in the garage? What were the boxes that they found then? What were the boxes of stuff? I thought that was the Bam that was found in the garage or in his truck or something. There's the link for Kurt or Martin to come up. He stated he threw away Bam in his trip to Denver. Yeah. When you guys come up here, it'll be easier for you guys to talk instead of typing. What was in the gun cabinet? There was guns and I don't know. There was guns. And he also said he had money in there that was stolen. Okay, I'll wait and see if one of them come up, you guys. There's the link. I put it in chat for Kurt or Martin if you guys want to come up. Didn't he admit also to throwing away tranquilizer materials in Broomfield? I think so. I'm not sure. One of them, there we go. We got Martin. Whoops. Let me just get Martin up here. Hello, Martin. Okay, let me get my headset on again so we don't. Martin's going to have problems with his sound again. We can't hear you, Martin.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, now I can hear you.
Okay, sorry.
So, did they not find Bam either in his truck or something?
No, they found. No, they just found the darts. You know the tranquilizer darts, basically. With no Bam. But he had admitted to taking home from Indiana Bam, and he also admitted to shooting deer, or was it an elk or deer or something like that,
right,
from the breezeway window.
Yeah.
And he also admitted that there was Bam on his bench, on his workbench, but it was cleared off. And he said he possibly was dumped when he was clearing his bench. His work in Broomfield. He actually said that.
Okay, he said that in one of, was it with Grusing or something?
With Grusing, with Grusing, and maybe somebody else actually, but definitely he said it with Grusing.
Yeah, I thought so. I thought him and Grusing, because I remember vaguely. I'm trying to find all my documents from my other computer, but I vaguely remember him talking about that Bam, about having it, because he didn't know yet that they had found the dart, right? The cap.
No, I think he knew about the cap.
I don't think he knew yet because that conversation was had before he got arrested. I don't think they knew that I don't think he knew that the cops had found that cap in the dryer yet. When they asked him about The dart for the tranquilizer or whatever. A tranquilizer
Um,
dart, because they found the darts or whatever, and then they found the cap in the dryer, but I don't think he knew at that point when they questioned him that they had found that cap yet.
I can remember them a question. Was there any chance that he did used his tranquilizer gun on that Saturday shooting?
Okay.
And he said absolutely not. I remember.
Okay, so there. He was found to have BAM in Arizona. Cartridges were empty vials. Okay. But he did admit to using it, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Yeah,
In the
and
breezeway.
in the yeah, he shot from the breezeway window. He said an elk or was it a deer? I can't remember, but he said he cut off the horns.
That was when he was leaving. That's why he said he turned left on 50. Because
No,
he
no,
seen.
no. No, that was something different altogether.
Because
That
when
was
he was
his
shooting
excuse.
through the breezeway, I thought that's when he said he was shooting at chipmunks through the breezeway.
No, he was shooting chipmunks. He was chasing chipmunks. He
Or
said around.
chasing or whatever,
Yeah,
yeah.
but no, this when he was talking about shooting them, the elk or deer. I can't remember now which it was, but he said it was from the breezeway window.
I
You know,
vaguely remember that, yeah.
but it wasn't to do with the elk. The elk, like every story, revolves around some type of an animal or whatever. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
That's why I did that one like just funny thing that I did about the animals. It's always an animal to blame.
yeah, I just said
It's a lion that took Suzanne. It's this. It's the
that's right.
chipmunks. It's this. It's that. There was a few of them I'd put on there. He also chased chipmunks, not Suzanne. Yeah.
And the other thing is um
Kurt, do you not
like
want to come up? I
he's
don't
there,
think
all right. Yeah, he's there. One
he's
second.
there.
Yeah, he come up.
Come and say hi to everybody. Shimpy says hello from Indiana. Oh, Shimpy's in Indiana. They're here. Shimpy's in Indiana. Well,
All right.
Indiana don't
Barry was
have to
told
worry
by
about
by
Barry.
Harris. Harris told Barry about the needle sheet in the being found in the dryer, and
Okay.
so yeah, but it was Grusing. I remember who was asking him
Yeah,
about.
I remember
Yeah,
Grusing talking to him.
yeah. Grusing asked Barry if he shot the tranquilizer gun on Saturday, May 9th. He said absolutely not. Barry was told no trank like BAM was recovered at the house. He said he used the BAM and explained what was in it. And when Barry asked if it was disposed of, he stated, I don't recall. Barry was asked what he used to reverse the tranquilizer effect, and he said
Hmm.
tolazine. Barry said he bought the chemical. He brought the chemicals, which he knew to be controlled substances from Indiana, and kept them on his workbench.
Yeah.
There you go. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Yeah.
they just lie there. Do you know what I mean?
Well, he also were you listening to it?
Yeah, I was listening to what
Okay,
everything was
so
saying.
I'm trying to listen and talk at the same
I
time, and
know.
it's like I was behind, and it's like, oh my god, my mind was going like 100 miles an hour. But
You done a
it's
great job.
the thank you. The judge asked the defense. This pissed me off because they were caught in a lie. The judge specifically said, "What names did he use?" And he didn't say that he had changed his last name Moore to
That's
Moore
right.
instead of
Yeah.
yeah. He lied there, and then there was something else too that he lied about. Oh, about where he had been traveling. They didn't mention Mexico.
That's right. Well, he I think
Get
he
up
used
here,
that
Kurt.
name
Everybody
before.
wants to say hi to you. There you go. He's here, you guys. Don't you worry. He's good. Yeah, like so they lied about where he had been traveling. And then it's when they said, well, how long did he stay in the county once the charges were dismissed? He was out of there. Like he didn't stay long at all. And then they asked about his name, and then okay, what's this? Like they say in their filing, he obeys the law and all. He's such an honest person, but he's using the same license plate on two different vehicles, and that license plate is from Indiana. He hasn't even registered a vehicle in Arizona where he's been living for so long.
Yeah, and we found out recently that he actually lived there a lot longer than what we thought he did.
Yeah.
Like, I'm talking about years. So he had a property out there that I think that where he had the trailer, I think it was, for a lot longer than
we knew.
than what I knew anyway.
Me too. And then they even said, like, he's transferred and moving around large sums of money. That everything's been put under one of his daughter's names and one of his family members. They said, we know who it is. It's Mallory.
Yeah,
We've seen it all.
Mallory, yeah.
Because that house in Indiana is in Mallory's name.
Yeah.
It's
And the
not
one
in Barry's name anymore. It's in Mallory's name.
No,
So they
it's not.
lied.
It was in Barry's name, and
He transferred it. He did a quick claim.
Yeah, and the property that's in Florida is in Mallory's and Macy's name, I think.
Yeah.
And
so it's
and
like, whoa,
both
wait a
of them are
minute.
living in Arizona, so
There he is.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
There he is. I love it. I love it. I love it. Is that all his BAM on his belt there?
That's all the BAM.
That's all the BAM.
Now, didn't he get, whenever they arrested him, didn't he have BAM in his possession in Arizona, or am I just imagining?
Yeah, no, there was what did they say? Paraphernalia. That's what they said. I think of BAM in Arizona when he was arrested. Yeah,
I was almost positive that one of them at one time had said that he was in possession of BAM, that he had BAM, whether it be in his truck, the garage. I vaguely remember it from somewhere.
Yeah, I'll go through the documents. I'll find it for you and send it over. I think I saw something like that too, but it was a file that was empty.
It was at the it was at the
Well,
arrest.
it's empty because he used it.
Exactly.
But
and it doesn't take away from the fact that he literally stated to them that he threw away BAM in the McDonald's trash can.
Right. Yep.
I don't know if he actually said McDonald's trash can, but we suppose it was the trash can. But he said in Broomfield, and he also said he kept it on his bench, and he also said that he took it from Indiana when he moved in 2018, which there again, and he also said that he shot elk or deer out of the breezeway and cut their horns off, and that's what he was doing. And he said about the local authorities that if they got hold of him, he'd be in trouble.
Yeah,
so
he was worried about getting in trouble for.
Yeah,
but I thought okay, wait a minute. See, when they asked him, well, why didn't you, when you turned left on Highway 50, why didn't you mention that to us before? And that's when I think he came back with, well, because I was going to see if the elk or whatever was crossing the roads. He seen one with antlers or something, or wanted to see if it dropped the antlers or whatever.
Yeah.
And he didn't want to mention the BAM because he didn't want to get in trouble because using the BAM to knock them out is illegal to do just to get their antlers. So he said, so I didn't mention it. See, and that was about when he said he turned left on Highway 50, because they said, well, that's funny because that's where her helmet was found, down that way. And he said, well, that's why I turned left that way, because I seen an elk. I wanted to see if he was going to drop his antlers, which they'd already dropped their antlers months before.
A big bull elk, he said. A bull elk,
right.
He said.
And he said, I didn't want to say anything because I would get in trouble for using the BAM.
I don't remember that. You might be right. I don't remember it happening like that. But I do remember he was wanting to track the bull elk to get his trail so he could follow it later and see if he dropped his horns.
Yeah,
or his antlers. Yeah.
I don't know.
I think he did say horns, actually.
His horns.
I know he did say horns. Yeah. That's funny. It's the little things that stick with you. But there's so many little things that his attorneys obviously don't understand fully yet. And with them saying certain things, like they set themselves up with the whole identity thing. Oh, he's doing his life, and it had to be the prosecutor to say, hey, he's using aliases, he's switching plates between cars, all this stuff,
moving money around, changing ownership of property.
while he's in jail moving money around. So it's
Right.
obvious that he can do and conduct business of that nature while he's behind bars. That's just funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, when she was saying that, it's like, well, he doesn't have to be out to conduct his business because he's doing it from behind bars. It's like, so at first I thought, okay, she's not gonna lower his bail. Well, she didn't lower the bail, but she's given him the opportunity. If he can come up with 500,000, he's gonna come up with. And did you see them run right to the daughters? They went right to the daughters, and they're all yapping there.
I wasn't watching it, but I
Oh,
was
I
just
did.
listening. Yeah. No, I was going to watch. I was going to watch it on WebEx, but it said that there was no volume, so I said there's no point.
Yeah, when I tried to watch it on the WebEx, I couldn't get a volume, but there's another YouTuber streamed it.
Yeah.
So the best thing
JLR
to do with
streamed
that,
it, so guys can go and watch it again if you want to watch it yourself on JLR.
the
You can
best
go
thing to
watch it
do
over
instead of
there.
watching it, I'll get the transcript and just give you a transcript from the video, so that way you're not feeding.
Yeah, I was. It was like, wait a minute. I even put in his chat, like, wait a minute. We're not supposed to, like, I don't want to lose the opportunity to be able to watch it. I said, like, come on, you're not allowed to live stream this. And he continued. He live streamed the whole thing.
Yeah, and that's already being addressed by the courts because they have specific people watching for hackers like you and I. So
right.
And
Yeah.
I just I can see your chat now, and I just wanted to say, all these people have been here for 5 years, and it's beautiful to see.
Yeah. That's why they all wanted you to come up and at least say hello, because look at, hello, AK and Martin. We missed you. We missed you.
I figured I'd be forgotten about by now. Martin hasn't forgotten about me. That's good, but I figured everybody else has. But it's awesome to see the same names and the passion and the love and all that stuff that everybody has for Suzanne's case. And this is not going to end the way the last one did.
You can't get rid of me and Martin.
What do you think of July or August for the trial?
Yeah, she said, they said, that was another thing when the prosecution stood up and said, well, we're ready to go. But, well, then the defense said, well, wait a minute. You said back in July you were ready to go, but just last week we got another 4 terabytes. So we're not ready now, right? But they both, well, the prosecution said we're striving for June, July, or August of next year. And we've been talking to the defense about it. Then Beller got up and said, well, whoa, wait a minute, because we just got another 4 terabytes. If this is all we got, that could be attainable, but we don't know. Like, I don't want to commit to it because now I don't know how much more is going to come in. And see, the speedy trial hasn't started yet. The clock hasn't started ticking because he hasn't been arraigned yet.
I thought they handed over everything.
No.
Well, it's not. He's set for the next one is a status conference, so it's still delivering evidence both between the defense and the prosecution. So it's still ways out. So they got plenty of time.
And it seems to me the boot is on the other foot all of a sudden, isn't it? Where it was the last in the prelims, they were given out about the not receiving the discovery,
Right. And this time you don't, since it's not been arraigned, you don't have the discovery violations. So that's a good thing. They're going to be thorough
they
about
wouldn't
it.
have the discovery violations yet anyway, because there hasn't been a schedule made yet.
Exactly.
There's nothing been scheduled for even discovery. The judge is going to, at some point in time, put a scheduling order where you got till this time for, witnesses, for lay witnesses, for experts, for this, for that, for all discovery. She hasn't even set a schedule yet. He hasn't even been arraigned yet.
Right. So, and the complaint from the defense about the ADC process is really slow. That's the automatic discovery system that's used. Right. And obviously I would venture to guess that the 4 terabytes that they just received had been available to him, because just previous to that is when he was talking about not receiving the 4 terabytes. Then he goes into ADC system is really slow and haphazard and it's difficult. Yeah. So they had it. This prosecution isn't going to drop this one, especially with what they know. Like the facts are the facts now, and they're going after the facts, and it's beautiful.
It is. Like I was saying, I did a live yesterday or the day before going over these new documents that dropped in the case. And I was telling people, like, this time, like, everybody was saying, okay, wait, they found her body in September. Why aren't they charged? Why aren't they arrested? Everybody was saying, like, freaking out because he hadn't been arrested. I said, you guys, this time, the ball's on their side. They are going to take their time and make sure they got every duck in a row, every T crossed, every I dotted, and they're going to be ready to say, here's everything we got. Let's go. And it seems to me, even though the defense just said they just got 4 more terabytes, it could be because the process of getting that electronically, whatever, is flawed or slow or whatever. They're ready to go. You know what I mean? Like, they are ready to go.
They're ready to go. So, but Barry doesn't want the speedy trial all of a sudden.
I don't know what he's going to do there. What do you guys think? Do you think he's going to invoke his speedy trial rights, or do you think he's going to waive his speedy trial right? I think he's going to waive it, especially if he gets out.
He's definitely going to waive. Yep. Definitely going to waive. He's going to get out. He's going to get out. I know. Yep. I am positive he's getting out. Yeah. Okay, so it's just about probably within the next 4 or 5 days. But his ankle monitor will have service this time.
Yeah. Where'd they say he had to live?
In Colorado. He has to be he can't leave the state for any reason.
But they don't have a specific address where he has to reside?
No, because he doesn't have residency here. But we all know who his friends are, or a lot of us know who his friends are.
Yeah.
And he'll be staying in Chaffee.
Yeah.
Unless they rent him a house.
Salida, just outside Salida.
Yeah. So in Chaffee County, so that's Salida, that's Buena Vista. He's got friends all over there that would give him plenty of space.
He's got friends in Sawachi as well.
Yeah.
Okay, what you two? What do you think about him taking off to Mexico? Do you think he'd do it?
Nope, not a chance in hell. I don't think.
You don't think so?
Martin probably feels differently. I don't think this man feels 1 ounce of guilt. I think that he feels.
I just think that in the last trial, he was quite happy that there was nobody, but the whole thing has changed.
It's different this time because now they found her body. So that's what makes me think, oh shit. Yeah, with the clothes being thrown in there with no decomposition on them and all this 100%. Shit.
Yeah.
Now it's like, oh shit. You know what I mean? Like, I think he's scared this time.
Like, we were all looking at Barry for sure the last time, but there was certain people were on the fence or whatever. I don't think there's many people on the fence this time,
Yeah.
They all know it, Yeah. Even a lot of his strong allies online have changed sides, So
I don't even pay attention to those people. I just listen to what's on the ground, and what's on the ground is pretty intense.
Diehards. I'm talking about diehards that you couldn't convince now. Do you know what I mean? All of a sudden,
it's like talking to a tree and trying to get them to understand what the sun does for them because they're just too stupid. So I don't care about that.
True.
Good analogy there.
Sorry, I'm not a well polished YouTube person, so I don't speak as well as I should on your channel. I'm sorry, Willow.
That's okay because everybody is missing you to begin with. We missed you.
I missed everybody. Honestly, it's been one heck of a change to not do the lives with Martin and go through all the evidence and do all this stuff, but it's been needed, and I feel 100% confident that what we did as a team, not just Martin and I, as a team, including you, including everybody else, we created an avenue for them to get this case prosecuted correctly with the facts, and it will be. And they now understand the facts in a way that they never could have before. And the best thing that could have happened is getting that Alex Walker out of there, out of the prosecution's warehouse, and putting him in to the sheriff's department because he messed up the case. So I'm so happy he's gone. But one thing, to your point, as far as jumping bail because he's scared, once he understands the intricacy of the facts that we didn't even put out, but that we gave to them, he will start to realize that there's no way out of this.
Yeah.
So unless it's a procedural thing that they get, and he hopes that it's going to work out on his favor, I still don't feel like he's going to run, because in his mind he's innocent. He's doing the Lord's work,
Like,
and that's what happened.
Well, he's got somebody to prove it to, his daughters too, because there's a lot riding there, especially with everything being under Mallory's name now. Like, he would be screwed and tattooed. You know what I mean? Like, everything's under her name. I don't know, you guys.
He's got money that's underneath the table. He's got money in places that we don't know even to look. But he's also has money in custody of others that's not in his name, never has been in his name, and that money will come into play as well. And for him to claim destitute and have these lawyers, I don't understand it. I'm stupid with that stuff. I don't understand how he got to keep them.
He doesn't have it under his name, Kurt. He doesn't have it under his name. It's under his daughter's name.
Yeah, but how does he get his attorney?
Because he's indigent.
He has no money. Goes to a pool. I've witnessed this one other time on a case I was researching just to try to find it. I've never found a case where he's destitute and the court go ahead and authorizes payment to his own personal lawyer that he's used in a previous matter. That's just unheard of. It goes to a pool.
But it's happening because the state is paying these lawyers for him.
Oh,
he's
that's
not
what I don't
them.
understand. And that's why I stay out of the stuff I don't understand, because that just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense. Weird.
But what's happened is, by him transferring all this money out of his possession, he looks indigent. If he has $1,000 in his bank account, which we all know he's got money hidden somewhere that he can easily access.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee you by tomorrow he's out. That money's posted and he's out.
Yeah, and it won't be his money that's posted. He's too slick for that. He's got friends that's already offered to pay. So I have no issue with him getting out.
You don't think he's going to hand them the $300,000 cash?
He won't.
Here?
Somebody else will.
Somebody else, one of his daughters or his mother, or a friend. A friend.
A friend will. Yes, 100% a friend.
But it's still going to be Barry's money.
Nah, the friend is doing it for Barry.
But with whose money? The friend's money or Barry's money?
Yes, the friend's money is what I was told, is what I heard on 2 different occasions over the last 2 months.
That's
month and a half.
Up, because they know any friend that is willing to put up that kind of money for him knows all of Barry's affairs. And I think I know who you're talking about. That person would know everything about Barry.
And there's a reason why Barry needs to have that ally close.
Right.
And there's a reason why they would stick together. So I don't know. And hey, it's all pie in the sky and conjecture. I'm not one for that, but I do know that he will be out. I do know that he's going to be under GPS, and I do know that they've been monitoring everything. Yeah. And it's awesome because he is under the magnifying glass in a way that he wasn't previously. And especially with them talking about transferring money, even during his incarceration.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's knowing that they're watching and listening to everything.
They got their eyes on everything. But yeah, I don't know. They were asking what you guys thought about how the prosecution's handling the case.
Go ahead, Martin.
Yeah, well, at the moment, it's hard to say because
we haven't really seen enough.
We haven't seen anything,
Yeah.
But,
I love the fact that I know that they went under the Broomfield job storm drain.
Oh, they did do it?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. I don't know if they found anything, and I'm not, I don't know, but they did. So they're following up on everything. It's freaking awesome.
That's cool. That's cool.
It's good to know. At least, I don't know. This is just off the top of my head. Like, is Barry thinking that Ann Kelly is going to be like another Linda Stanley and she's going to say or do something that he hopes that they do something that they can use as sanctions again? You know what I mean?
I think there'd be no sanctions.
No, I'm just saying it's got to be in the back of Barry's head. I don't care. I'm watching everything they do, and if they do this and they do that, there's a sanction. There's a sanction. There's a sanction. You know what I mean? Because he's terrified of these expert witnesses.
Well, I think what we're missing is Barry's mind state. Whenever I met him on the side of the road, that conversation that we had for 27 minutes and 36 seconds, his Bible literally was open up in the center console of his truck as he was working on closing off the HOA, installing the cash-ins, stanchions. And in his mind, everything is justified in what he did. God was working through him to punish a woman who was not faithful and who didn't follow the Lord's example of what a wife should be. And I think in his mind, he's innocent. God will direct his case, and he will be free based off of his faith. God will intervene, and he will be fine. I think that's what he feels, truly. In my mind, that's what I think.
I think there's a good chance that's true.
Yeah.
I
just hope I find in the dumpster down there the more letters and mail and
Do you remember that? It's like twice you did.
Yeah, I know.
Not just once, twice.
I know.
It's like, what the fuck?
How can
they be sometimes so stupid?
Get lucky sometimes when you find stuff in trash. It's weird. Right. But yeah, so hopefully the jail in Alamosa isn't destroying all his mail whenever they throw it away.
Yeah. Right. It's going to be interesting, boys.
All I know is that I'm happy to talk to you.
Next week. I hope they go next summer.
They will. He's not going to like what happens to him on the outside. Like whenever he was out the other time, he didn't like having, FAA flight pattern authorized drones flying overhead with the speaker, talking to him. He didn't like having people looking at him side eyes. And so he went under this assumed name and traveled around and stuff. But I think it's going to be a little bit more intense this time because people know he's guilty.
That's right.
That's it.
Well, this assumed name too, it's because of all the people he ripped off when he sold these businesses that he apparently owned in Indiana, and he sold them and they were worthless. There was a whole bunch. There was a big fiasco on that. The guy was suing him and everything.
Yeah, he sold one business, BLM Landscaping, to one set of people, and they were making payments, and they did a substantial down payment. And then he sold the same company to a second person.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Two people for his one company.
He's on the witness list, that chap.
He is.
That's what I found interesting too, is that his daughters are on the state's witness list.
Yeah.
Sorry?
The state's witness list, Macy and Mallory are on the witness list for the state.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
So to bring substance to the texts and the built-up of their relationship, Macy will be more key than Mallory.
Yeah.
Yes.
And just like Suzanne's voice texts, I'm going to be posting that whole series again on Twitter.
I've seen that actually when I clicked onto Twitter, and it just came up.
Yeah, I was just checking some of his stuff over there on Twitter. But yeah, because I've got them all on my other computer. I got to get through it and get all this stuff again. But I have the copies of those text messages where she says, just get a restraining
they'll all be
order.
posted on Twitter, and I'll send them all to you. I have a whole transcription if you want it. I'll send it to you.
Well, I've got them on my other computer. It's just getting over there to the TV and finding time to do it. Trying to get
it
so
sure
much
is
done
nice talking to you.
Yes.
And my boy Martin, I haven't talked to him in a while. I just wow, it's just so nice seeing all the familiar names in chat and seeing just hearing your voice and this positivity talking about this case, and finally feeling like we were listened to as a community. We were listened to it's just awesome, and we know it's going to go. He's done.
Yeah,
he's cooked.
Yep.
He's cooked. Yeah,
it's been a long 5 years.
I can't see any twists or turns that's going to change anything. Maybe just one, but I'll keep that to myself.
Yeah. There's a few things that might pop up, but they're just little bumps, and that's fine. Roll on past them.
Yeah.
So
I'm interested about the discovery. So there's another 4 gigabytes or terabytes of discovery just dropped recently. Wow! I'm just
along 40 other terabytes. 40. I forget what the exact figure was.
I think he said if we had all 8 terabytes.
Yeah.
Oh,
it was 4.
okay. So 8 terabytes is huge.
It's huge.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It's huge.
So I just get the feeling that there's an awful lot more than this. The 129 pages of an affidavit that we had with all the information and whatever, and all the discovery we had. I just think there's.
Well, you got to realize not everything is going to be on those discs, right? Like I was trying to explain it yesterday when I worked in the law office. It was like we had packets, and each packet was for a specific thing, like GPS, phone calls, this witness, that witness. It was packets. So not everything goes on. I don't know how they do it over there, but I know in our office sometimes we had to copy the photos. That didn't come on with the terabyte, like with the disc or whatever, or whatever they put that on. I don't even know what you call it. What a hard drive. It's not. It's not. Some of that stuff isn't put on hard drive. Some of it's handed. So you'll have a packet of all the photos they have. That may not be on the terabyte. So
not anymore. It's all in that ADC system throughout Colorado. It's like a mandated thing. So that way
that's cool though.
It's trackable. So that way accountability is held and you're not dealing with people hand delivering things and having to sign off and get an affidavit. Yeah. No, it's 100%. It's all electronic and he's screwed, dude. There's no way he's getting out of this, barring procedural stuff. If they stick to the facts, he's done.
Yeah.
Done. 100% done.
Says, how is he allowed to talk to his daughters when they are on the witness for the prosecution?
There's no contact order, so he can talk to them. That's fine, but he can't talk to
but they're also a witness.
Well, I was a witness, and I could talk to everybody. The judge even called me out and said I was a hacker. I was a witness. He lied to the cops saying I wasn't a witness, but yet here I was on the witness list, right? So
he's such a fool, isn't he? Don't have to laugh. Yeah. I don't know.
Well, when they couldn't pin it on AK, they tried to pin it on. Oh, well, it's okay, Mr. Anyway, who's this Willow? Willow, huh? The tree? I'll never that. And he says, "Well, who's this Willow? Do you know Willow?" No. Well, you seem to. I forget how he said it, but anyway, Kurt's
who's this?
There.
Who's this Willow from up north? The tree?
The great white north. Yeah, that's what the judge says. Who's this Willow from the great white north? And Kurt says, Willow, the tree? And I'm dying. I'm dying. And it's like, oh, frig, it was funny. I have no idea, Your Honor, who Willow is. I don't know. I don't know.
No, I don't know who my sister is.
Yeah, I have no idea who you're talking about.
I don't think he was the sharpest tool in the box, to be honest.
No, but the thing that pissed me off, Martin, when that happened was exactly how I did it today. We were doing it back then. Kurt was on, you weren't on YouTube, you were on Twitter, weren't you? Kurt?
Yeah, I was live tweeting from my garage watching your...
Yeah. Oh, okay. And I was on YouTube doing exactly what I did today. And it's like, neither one of it, and it was that fucking Iris Eaton. Neither one of us were live streaming.
Yeah. And there were a few people live streaming, actually.
Yeah, just like today. It's like, I followed the rules. Because
I watched it, I think. I can't remember. I watched it on Matt Blank's channel or somebody. I can't remember. I watched it somewhere. I was watching it. Because I just went on the live. I went on the live thing to Google Live, see what was happening, and it was 2 or 3 people had it up
today.
No, not today.
Back then, when it wasn't us though.
I know, yeah, but I'm just saying there was a few people who were.
Well, the judge almost fell on his ass when he said, "You drove all the way from, I'm not going to say where you live, but all the way there to hear. He says, yes, Your Honor. He says, I left my not my smokes, but my phone and my wallet and everything in the car because I didn't know if I was going to be arrested.
Exactly. I left my wallet and my bail money in the car because I didn't know if you were going to arrest me. I came down here to clear my name. You falsely accused me yesterday. You slandered my name in the court record, and I just wanted to prove to you that it wasn't me.
Yeah.
The family of the victim needs to understand that it wasn't me who caused the WebEx to be shut down, and that's why I went down there.
Yeah.
It's crazy when you think of it.
So I don't know. Well, I think there was people streaming it, but it had nothing to do with us.
No, they were targeting me for a specific reason.
And then they thought that exactly. Well, we know the reason.
Yeah,
right?
They're scared as shit. They know that I'm stubborn.
Because
I'm stupid enough to fall into shit that I shouldn't, like trash and stuff.
There was a lot of stuff going on around that time too that you were doing under the radar. So she was worried. Like, there's a reason why things kept happening to your vehicle. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, we're not stupid. We're not stupid. We've been on this longer than Iris Eaton.
Yeah. Yeah.
We started like right away, and me and you, like right away, we were on it. But anyway,
it's been a fun journey. I've lost so much time. Like, it seems like it was yesterday. I look at pictures, like memories pop up, and I see these like photos of me out in BFE, Chaffee County, above the town of Salida or anywhere up in the mountains, and I'm like, dang, that doesn't seem like it was 5 years ago. It's crazy.
I couldn't, you crazy bastard. I couldn't even watch it. You guys, go back. Oh, you can't. Some of the videos that he was doing when he was driving that Jeep up and down the mountains, it's like I'm closing my eyes. It's like, no, he's going to end up off that mountain. And it's just like the chances you took, it was like, oh my God. And then the Adventures with Purpose thing, when they guys with shotguns surrounding you guys, Adventures with Purpose, we're out of here. Kurt's like, oh, I'm not going nowhere.
Yeah, I'm like, I gotta sleep here tonight. What are you talking about? I'm starting where we left off yesterday.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was crazy, and it was a very eye-opening chapter because I never understood the level of corruption.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I knew it was there, but to witness it firsthand on not just one aspect, but on a plethora of aspects, and how they dirty deal, how they come and they do backroom talks and they coordinate with each other. I'm talking people, defense and prosecution. It's nuts. It blew my mind. I never thought I would ever witness anything like that. And it changed my entire worldview.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Thank you, Kate Bell, for gifting a membership. Wild Child for Life got a free membership. Thank you, Kate Bell. Summer Dawn says, oh, that poor Jeep. That's why I've got the 2022, I think it is, the Jeep Cherokee 4x4. Nice. So I just got that not long ago, last year. And it's got next to no miles on it. And it's like, my son keeps saying, Mom, come on, let's go down through the creeks now. Screw you. That Jeep ain't doing that. It can do it, but it ain't doing it. I said, you want to see shit like that? Go watch Kurt.
Oh, I have like 4 terabytes myself, like 3.7 terabytes of videos that never were posted. Wow. We were going through some of that last night, my son and I, and just looking, and he's like, his jaw was on the floor because, you know, at the time he was 7, he didn't realize what was happening. I mean, he knew, but he didn't realize what I was actually doing.
In the garage?
He does. It's full up of boxes and stuff now because but it is what it is.
That was cute.
He broke his arm
on
the day before school. Radius disjointed fracture and a broken ulna, and then he had school the next day, and then the next day was his birthday, so he went to school for the first time on his birthday with a cast. It was the worst day of his school career, he said, but he's on track now. He's good.
Our school doesn't start till tomorrow. The French kids went back last week, and high school went back last week, but English kids don't go back until tomorrow. So
oui. Parlez-vous français?
Parlez-vous en français, toi?
Toi.
Okay, what's this? Summer Dawn says, Still find it sus that a cop was conveniently there when he was arrested, but all hell broke loose after that. Not a coincidence, in my opinion.
No.
A cat H says it was like watching a James Bond movie with you, Kurt.
It kind of was, and sometimes
It was.
And to think, all that effort and money, like literally, I'll be paying off that expense for the next 3 years, I think. The $27,000 I spent, and not just on Suzanne's case, but helping others and doing the other searches that weren't on YouTube and not talked about on Twitter. I'll be paying that off for the next 4 years. It's 3.5 years, I think. It wasn't a fun thing, but it did cost a lot of money. Yeah. And we were making some crazy stuff, like the drone doing the searches and mapping the ground, and we would have the crowdsource people jump in there and find like phone cases and stuff. Now I'm using AI. Now I have access to tools that can actually do that on the fly while I'm out there.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So it's just about the cash. You got to get cash to get that stuff going, and I don't have that. So I'm debt riddled with all the stuff I've done over the last 5 years. But yeah, it's cool.
But you know what? The job, I think, is done. The only 100%. Time that I think I would flip the fuck out is if he gets off or something happens.
No,
I know he isn't. I know he isn't this time. I got full confidence in this prosecutor's office, and with everything you guys gave into, and I don't know how much of that you want to go into, but I believe this time he ain't getting off anywhere. But I'm concerned that Barry may think that he's pulled one over on everybody, or he can. But when his lawyers sit him down, and believe me, they have to, okay? Yeah. Sit him down and say, look at Barry, get your affairs in order, because this isn't looking good. That's when I think tables are going to turn.
Well, I thought there was well enough evidence before Suzanne was found.
Oh, yeah, there was.
What was that?
There was well enough evidence to prosecute well before Suzanne's body was found.
It's just Linda Stanley fucked it all up.
Mm-hmm.
Her and others. Summer Dawn says, AK, can we help you pay it off, please?
Heck yeah. Heck
He's like,
I'm
come
down.
on, here's my Cash App. We don't have Cash App in that here in Canada, but yeah.
No, I'm not begging for money.
So you don't have to. Somebody just offered. That's not begging. Stop.
No, it's good. It's way too much to even think about it. But no, that whole idea was why I got the nonprofit going, and I was all excited, is because that way the nonprofit would pay for the actual expenses, so I wasn't incurring more and additional. And I just did it anyways because I got screwed with what Tom and them did, so they made the name look like trash. So I can't do that now. So it's on me. I made the decision. I'm a big boy. I'll have to spend 3 years, dealing with my stuff. But we've touched a lot of people's lives. We've helped a lot of people. We've created hope. We sent Hope Rocks out to over 17 different countries across the world.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
I got mine here beside me.
Isn't that awesome? I mean, that's just creating awareness for Suzanne, for the case, for just general, just being good people and having hope in this really, really dark world sometimes. Yeah. And if it helped one person, I'd pay for the next 10 years. It's worth it to me.
Karen wants to know if do you still have your Keep?
Yes, Jeep. My Jeep. That's unfortunately that's the only vehicle we have right now, because the other vehicle we had, the engine blew up in it. So so it's kind of a tough spot right now, but we'll get out of it. I always land on my feet.
I love my Jeep. I had a 1997 Jeep Grand Cherokee, and when I traded it in for a little sports car, because I hit that time in my life where I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. Because when I moved back from Hamilton to this area, it's like, oh shit, I forgot about the snowstorms here. I couldn't get out all winter because I had a little sports car. So then I said, screw that. And I said, I'm getting a Jeep again, and I'll never go back to another sports car again. That's for sure. Not living up in this area.
I can see you with a drop top Camaro or something.
I had a Camaro Berlinetta, and it was like what the fuck was I think? They say life begins at 50, right? No, you get stupid at 50.
Yeah.
So,
remember,
but
my
yeah.
father done the same thing. He got a sports car, 2-seater.
Yep, you can't do that here. Like, and
No.
apparently this winter is going to be a brutal one for us. So I just went out and bought a $1,700 snowblower, and it's like, bring it on, I'm ready. I can
That's
bear the
awesome.
thing where it weighs twice as much as I do, but that's okay. It's got that
you have to
automatic;
remember
it
that
pulls itself.
you're picking up people and family, and he arrives in this little 2-seater, and that's no good.
He's
That's so good.
in the trunk.
He couldn't even get a set of golf clubs in the trunk. It was that small.
Yeah.
Martin, I got a funny story. Just 2 weeks ago, I was helping. I was at the parts store getting pieces for the Jeep, and I met two ladies that were buying batteries, and I knew what they were buying. I was like, "Do you have a Jeep? Is that why you're getting the second battery?" And she says, "Yeah, why?" I was like, "Do you need something?" "Yeah, we broke down, blah blah blah, and had it towed to the dealership." So I gave him a ride over to the dealership. Then figured out what the codes were, and yeah, they have XYZ to get fixed. But one of them had a friend that they were talking to on the phone, and they could barely understand. The other sister could barely understand this person's accent because he was Irish. He was very Irish, and he was very Irish. Now you're Irish. He was very Irish, and he talked fast. So I was interpreting
Oh my God.
real time, a speakerphone Irish to English for them. It was so cool. It was funny. It reminded me of you, and Cruz was telling him, my dad has a best friend who lives in Ireland.
Oh, deadly, man. That's a deadly story.
That's cool. That's cool.
I'd say this is going to fly, lads. This next year is basically 11 months away, isn't it? It's going to be for the trial.
Yeah, and that's okay for me. As long as I know that what they have, I know what's going to come, and I know there's no way that they can defend against it. So I don't care how long it takes.
Shortcake says, "You guys must feel good. Barry is finally going to pay for his dirty deeds." Yep.
Yeah.
It couldn't have happened to a better asshole.
I was kind of getting worried there at one stage, because it was just went so long without hearing anything. But no news is good news, as they say sometimes. So.
Well, that's what everybody was saying, Martin. Like, oh, okay, they found her body. Come on, No, let them get their shit together. So there's not a place where they can slip a piece of paper in and say, oops. You know what I mean? Give them all the time they want to get their case together. So there's no way out. And that's what they've done.
Linda and Kelly are like chalk and cheese. You know what I mean? So that's, like you could tell straight away.
That's like oil and vinegar in English.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry. Yeah. Chalk and cheese. With oil and vinegar, yeah.
See, I'm a good interpreter.
Yeah, fair play to you, man. But basically, two different people, Anne Kelly's all about business,
Yep. She doesn't mess around. Like, she knows her stuff. It seems like I remember vaguely that train wreck of Linda Stanley, and it's like it looked like she was hung over half the time.
Oh, she was.
She was.
She was. But she come into.
That's the first thing my wife said. That's the first thing my wife said to me when she see the picture of her. She said,
like,
"Oh God, she's a."
I know firsthand she was. So
rough night, Anne? Yeah.
Crazy. The stories that we could tell, man. The stories that we could tell.
Maybe he will.
Maybe he will. Maybe
at some stage.
His little stories.
Good book there.
You guys know. Okay, what's this?
There's definitely a good book there, Kurt.
Oh my gosh, yes.
The Life and Times. And
it's all documented too. And so if anybody calls BS on it, I've got videos and audios and everything to prove it. It doesn't matter.
You've got everything. Yeah.
Good stuff. Well, what do you guys think?
I'll let you go. I'm going to go. Thank you for having us on. Thank you for talking about Suzanne. Thank you for bringing attention to this and doing what you did with the live stream today, because not everybody could make it and they'll watch this later. Good on you. Hit that like button and support the channel.
Yes,
one of the real ones.
Thank you for coming on. And I mean, it's been a long 5 years, and we're not done yet, but
Mm-mm.
we'll
And
get
we'll
there.
probably get some inside scoops on Barry here and there during this process. I'll let you know.
All righty. Okay, you guys. Thank
All
you
right,
for
I'll
coming
talk to you
on.
guys later.
I love you.
All right. Cheers.
Love you guys. Bye.
Okay, bye.
And that's me too as well. I'm gonna head it for the hills
Yep, me
here.
too. Okay, thank you, Martin, for coming
Thanks,
on.
Willa.
Okay,
Thanks,
love you.
folks. All right, bye-bye.
Okay, bye. There you go, you guys. It was good to have them on. Great. 2 great guys right there. Thank you, Crazy Graham, for supporting. Thank you so much. I'm glad that they were able to come on. I know it was very short notice, so it was nice that they did come on over and pop on and say hello to you guys, so you guys know they're doing well, and we're far from the end. They're still working in the background, you guys. Like, things are still happening in the background. It's not my story to tell, and when they feel it's time to share certain things, they will. Don't you guys worry, they will. And like Kurt said, it was so nice to see so many of these names that have been here with us since the beginning, since the very, very beginning. And we're not going nowhere. So just to show you that there, we're still together. We're not going nowhere. And we support each other. So I want to thank you guys for coming and watching here with us today. Anything happens, I'll keep you guys up to date. Any new filings, anything like that. If Barry does get out, keep an eye. Make sure you're subscribed. Keep an eye on my posts, because if I find out, when I find out, because I can guarantee you he's getting out. And when he does, I will be posting it there, so you guys will know. Okay, so thank you, Crazy Graham. Again, thank you. Thank you for all the support, you guys. I appreciate it so much. More than you guys know. And thank you, Kate Bell, for the one gifted membership. So until the next time, guys, I'm going to end it like I always do. Thank you, mods, for coming in and keeping things going. I hope you guys are happy to be able to have said hello to Martin and Kurt. And they're doing good. We're doing good. We'll get there, you guys. Okay, so until the next time, you guys, please take care of yourselves. Please stay safe. Always be aware of your surroundings. I love you guys to the moon and back. Bye-bye for now.